Hello fellow shadows, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're joined by my wonderful baby boy, Nemo, who also has his own YouTube channel, which is Nemo the Cat, and I love him with all my heart. I really do. But he's not going to be the topic of today's conversation. The topic of today's conversation, as my alarm goes off, I forgot I turned it on to 9:05. My bad. But it's gonna be Sarah Silverman and cancel culture. Cause I've watched, cause I am a fan of Andy Signor, and I follow him on YouTube. And yesterday, he discussed that she was getting slammed by cancel culture. But in this video, he does play a clip where she calls out cancel culture. Now, before I get into what I feel about cancel culture, let's hear what Sarah Silverman has to say about it. So, here we go.
Christian Picciolini, my friend, who was for years, since he was from 14 to, into his 20s, late 20s maybe, was the head of
a group, letter, chapter.
He spent
Just letting you guys know, it's going to take a tad bit of time for her to actually get into, the whole cancel culture itself, the actual cancel culture, actually bringing it up. She's just going easy into it. But, anyways.
Last 30 years, getting people out of hate groups.
But this is related to it.
But he went towards love. He was 14, he was smoking a joint, and an older kid took the joint out of his hand and threw it out and said, "You don't need that stuff, man." And gave him a place where he was accepted and cared for and loved. And that was a hate group.
Oh, and by the way, this mini point kind of also relates to her ultimate point, which you guys will see. Sorry.
The Nancy group, where he found family and camaraderie and a place to be when both of his parents worked all day. Going towards love can be a hate group. It could be the drama club. But that's all that it is at its root. It's just going towards where the love is. Mm-hmm. And you're going to find yourself doing a lot all through your life. And maybe wonder about it. I always think, in this cancel culture, and we all know what I'm talking about, whether you think there is one or there isn't one, or where you stand on it, and there's a lot of gray matter there. But without a path to redemption, when you take someone, you found a tweet they wrote 7 years ago, or a thing that they said, and you expose it and you say, this person should be no more, banish them forever, they're going to find some place where they are accepted. And it's not going to be with progressives, which ironically means to be changed, progress. If we don't give these people a path to redemption, then they're going to go where they are accepted, which is the fucking dark side. I think there should be some kind of path. Do we want people to be changed?
Good question.
Or do we want them to stay the same, to freeze in a moment we found on the internet from 12 years ago?
Amen.
And so we can point to ourselves as right and them as wrong. It's righteousness.
Okay, so
well said. I think she's very well said.
So that's I saw that clip from Popcorn Planet, which I shall put a link to that video in the pinned comments in the section of this video, so you guys can see Andy Signor's viewpoints of it, and actually see that clip if you guys haven't seen that clip that Andy Signor has on his channel, visually. But yeah, she does make a really good point. I agree with everything that she says. That I admit, when I first heard of cancel culture, I did not know what that was. mean, I have a good idea is probably canceling people, but I thought at the time, naively, that canceling people at that time was only after people tried to give the people who are in the wrong a chance to be better. Man, I was wrong. Like I said, I naively thought that at the time, before I officially knew what cancel culture was. So I had a small idea at the time when what cancel culture was. And then when I found out that cancel culture is, oh, they try, like, sometimes, in some cases, they try to seek out what you did wrong, like, years ago, and try to practically make you a prisoner of that one mistake years ago. Regardless if you changed for the better since then, they try to make you a prisoner of your past. They try to use your past mistakes so you won't be able to move forward in life. And I do like what she said towards the end. Which I show.
I think there should be some kind of path. Do we want people to be changed?
Good question.
Or do we want them to stay the same, to freeze in a moment we found on the internet from 12 years ago?
Well,
and so we can point to ourselves as right and them as wrong. It's righteousness.
And that's the, like, and that's where they're going at. That cancel culture wants people who make mistakes just to stay in that center where they made the mistake. They don't care if that person's grown for the better. They want that person who made this mistake that they're canceling to stay canceled, stay in that mistake, not to get better. And yeah, I really like that point. Now, I talked about cancel culture on my personal channel, Phil TMNT, and I was discussing how stupid I feel cancel culture is. Because, yeah, the moment you do wrong, whether you do it recently or in the past, that they somehow find it from the past, they try to cancel you. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter to them if you have some remorse or if you grew or wanting to grow for the better and changing that mistake into a lesson and never repeating that again. So you can be a better person. It doesn't matter to them. They want to bully you off practically the face of the earth. Practically. And that's stupid. I talked about this also on my TikTok a few times. Both TikTok accounts, because I'm a TikToker. Technically I got 3. 2 of them is me and my cosplays. 1 of them is me purely doing hot dog cosplays. But I'm referring to to where I don't do hot dog cosplays. That I mentioned this. And yeah, I mentioned in the videos on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on my YouTube channel when I discussed this, was it last week, that one of the things that cancel culture's weakness is, you think people in cancel culture is your friend. Like, if you're in cancel culture, you think other people are your friends, or your actual friends, that you always have them in your life. No. You're only there when it's convenient for them. But the moment they find out that you, assuming that you're in cancel culture, or in general, you have done something wrong, said something wrong, whether it's recently, 5 months ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, whatever. It doesn't matter if like I said earlier, if you feel remorse or if you have changed for the better since that mistake or those poor choices, I should say, that you made, not in my video anymore. You can play over there, okay? Thank you. Or if you recently made some poor decisions and feel guilty about making those poor decisions and wanting to become better, it doesn't matter to them if about that. All that matters is, oh, you made a mistake? You made some poor decisions? Well, doesn't matter if you want to become a better person or if you grew as a person since those poor choices. You're gonna get canceled! And like, why? Just why? And everybody makes mistakes. The people you look up to also make mistakes in their lives. You can't tell me, oh no, they never made mistakes. You're only saying that because you idolize them. But they're human. At least everybody makes mistakes. So what, are we going to cancel each other now? Once we cancel everyone in the world, who's there going to be canceled? It's stupid. It's really stupid. And the thing is, the people who are doing like the canceling, like, I feel like cancel culture should be canceled because they don't let people redeem themselves. They don't care to hear all the sides. Like some cases, maybe that person who they're trying to get canceled, maybe they're getting framed for something that they did not do. Well, I guess that's what framed is. But maybe they're getting accused of something that they didn't do. But how do they know that when they are just trying to cancel the person, when they're not trying to hear that person's sides out? Like, how? And some like in some cases, when that person is accused, they actually did that thing. But some people try to over-exaggerate or lie. Like maybe that person, like maybe I busted my PS4 controller, and maybe people will try to cancel me for that. I'm just using this example. My PS4 controller is fine, by the way. But maybe there'll be and maybe people will say, oh, he did all these other things too to his PS4 controller. Well, those things that the people say may not be true. But I might still be canceled for that because I busted my PS4 controller. But the people, cancel culture doesn't know that because they aren't trying to see my side. They aren't trying to hear my side out. That's kind of like with the whole Amber Heard thing and Johnny Depp. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were married. They got divorced, and they're in this custody legal battle because, apparently Amber Heard said some stuff that wasn't true about Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp doesn't like that, so he doesn't like that, and Amber Heard got a publishing company involved. Before some facts were exposed on Amber Heard's side, exposing her that she's not the innocent one, cancel culture went after Johnny Depp. They didn't even try to hear his side. People just went after Johnny Depp. And because of that, one of the things that happened to Johnny Depp was he got fired from Pirates of the Caribbean. There was going to be I've heard rumors, I don't know if these are true or not, but I've heard rumors that there was going to be a Pirates of the Caribbean 6. I've seen all 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies in theaters. I actually think that they should have stopped, like they could have stopped with number 3, because number 3, that would have been a good stopping point, but it is what it is. The movies were still pretty entertaining after that. But yeah, it was. I don't feel like they were as good as 3, the first 3, in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, Johnny Depp was fired from Pirates of the Caribbean because of this incident, and cancel culture was going after him. Do I think he should have been canceled? No. I think people should have waited to hear his side before deciding which side to cancel. Okay, here's the thing. I wouldn't have an issue with cancel culture if they heard both sides, or all the sides of the argument. If they heard all the sides of the argument, then it wouldn't exactly be bad. Then I wouldn't exactly have an issue with cancel culture, because at least they will be open on hearing both sides. Or at least I wouldn't have it big as a problem. And speaking of Andy Signor, which he explains on his, like he says this on his channel too, so public knowledge. He's Andy Signor, his YouTube channel is Popcorn Planet. He is the creator of Screen Junkies. He also was, like, I think he created Honest Trailers, which ever since he left, he got fired off of Screen Junkies. I feel like the Honest Trailers quality has come down, because they aren't as funny, in my opinion, as when Andy Signor was there. In my opinion. But he cheated on his wife. He was also inappropriate with some fans. Like, I highly suggest you guys going on his channel, because he did a live stream of discussing this. And I could be getting the last part wrong to a degree. But yeah, he explained this. Because it was his 3rd year being canceled. He did a live stream of this. And he took each section from his live stream and uploaded those sections on YouTube for, like, videos. I highly recommend you guys watching his videos, because he does a good job. He needs to let that out, and that made me a bigger fan of his. Now, yeah, he screwed up. Do I think he deserved to get called out at the time? Hell yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer in, if you see someone doing wrong, call them out. Do I think they deserve to get canceled? Not exactly. And, like, maybe in few cases, some cases maybe, but not in all cases. But again, one of the biggest problems with cancel culture is that they want to cancel a person before even giving that person a chance to explain their side. And that's unfair. And so yeah, some people wanted to cancel Andy Signor. And this whole event happened like 3 years ago for him. And then I discovered that he was back on YouTube, I think it was like last year. About this time last year, I saw him back on YouTube. I said, why does that guy look familiar? Then he was on Geeks and Gamers, like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was interviewing him. I said, oh, that's where I seen him. And it was about like November, October, when he was on Geeks and Gamers getting interviewed. And even then, in that interview, I could see that he admitted what he did wrong publicly. He felt bad for it. He paid the price for it too, because I'm not gonna get into detail. Like I said, that's one of the things I will recommend you guys watching the video, because he does touch on in the videos. I think it was like a 3-parter, maybe a 4-parter. And he's grown from it. And the reason why I'm a fan of his, because he might have done something wrong, and he got called out for it, rightfully so. But he decided to take that experience and never do that again. Let that experience let him grow. And that's one of the things Miss Silverman's
and we all know what I'm talking about, whether you think there is one matter there. But without a path to redemption, when you take someone, you found a tweet they wrote 7 years ago or a thing that they said, and you expose it and you say, this person should be no more, banish them forever. They're going to find some place where they are accepted. And it's not going to be with progressives, which ironically means to be changed, progress. If we don't give these people a path to redemption, then they're going to go where they are accepted, which is the fucking dark side. I think there should be some kind of path. Do we want people to be changed?
Good question.
Or do we want them to stay the same, to freeze in a moment we found on the internet from 12 years ago? And so we can point to ourselves as right and them as wrong.
And she kind of, I do believe everybody deserves a chance to redeem themselves, a chance for redemption. And I do believe that any Signor, if you guys actually go and watch his YouTube videos, you guys will see that he is not the same person as he was when he made those poor decisions. He wasn't. He isn't, I mean. And because of that, I have so much respect for him, because he grew. Like a few months ago, I kind of went at it with one of my friends, because he was saying, how my mom is like this perfect being. I'm not gonna say his name, but how my mom is a perfect being and stuff like that. And I was telling him, no, she's not. He said, yes, she is. She doesn't do anything wrong. So that's practically his argument was, she doesn't do anything wrong. I said, you haven't had as much experience as I have with my mom. First of all, I wasn't exactly saying that my mom's a bad person. That wasn't my argument at all. That wasn't my point. I was just saying that my mom isn't exactly the angel as he was trying to portray her as. That she has made, she's human like the rest of us. I had to get him to see, my point and to see that she's not perfect. I had to say, bringing his parents, for example, which I love very much as if they were, my parents. They're like a secondary parents to me. Saying, your parents aren't perfect, right? Well, my mom isn't perfect either. And then practically said, okay, let's move on. I guess he saw the point I was trying to make to him. This is also the same friend who was saying, well, because we known each other since we were kids. And, of course, like I said, everybody makes mistakes, especially when we're kids. So I said, well, you made me some mistakes. And this time I try and, like, say he's a bad person. Because he's a good person. He says, that time I was being, I'm sorry. This is like one of the very few times where I was calling him this. But he was being an asshole. He was being an asshole in that time frame. This was like shortly after we like had the argument about my mom not being an angel, but still being a good person, practically. He was saying, "Well, you made some mistakes in your life. You're a bad example. I don't want to be friends with you." I said, "Dude, I have made some poor decisions in my life. Like I said, we've known each other since we were kids." I said, "At least I've grown since those poor mistakes, and I've done some good too. You're focusing on like only the negative parts. We've known each other for like 12 years. You're focusing on the negative. I also did some good things too. Way more good things than I did poor decisions. And if you want to, I even made the point where I said, if you want to look at us making poor decisions, I can look at you. I can call you out too." And I gave him like a few examples too. Oh, where like few examples what he did in the wrong that I could easily hold against him. Easily. But I let go because I care more about the friendship than holding on to poor decisions that he made, because that would be petty and stupid and immature of me to do. And before that, the only times when I really thought about those things was when they were happening. But once those situations resolved, and I didn't think about those until he decided to use my me being a kid making poor decisions against me. And I said, yeah, I did make poor decisions as a kid. I grew since then. I'm become a better person. I can use some of your poor mistakes against you too if I wanted to. And in a sense, he was trying to cancel me. And that was extremely wrong of him to do. And I called him out for it. And yeah, me and him are still friends. Ever since then, me and him are cool. Has been cool. Yes, I admit publicly that conversation hurt some of my trust in him. But me and him's been cool. And I regained some of my trust back in him. Like a lot of my trust in him. Not fully, but a good portion of it. Guess he hasn't tried to pull that stunt again. And again, that was wrong of him to do. But yeah, my whole issue with cancel culture, and my whole issue with cancel culture is that once they hear someone made a mistake, cancel that person! Well, it doesn't matter if they did it like a few years ago, or 10 years ago, 20 years ago. If they hear a person did a mistake, cancel that person. They don't allow any redemption. And they don't ever try to hear the person's side. I'm not going to defend anyone who has done wrong. But what I will defend them on is that, yeah, they might have done wrong. But do they feel bad for what they did? Are they doing their best to change for the better? If that person who has done wrong admits what they did, doing their best to change for the better, and never doing that mistake, those poor decisions ever again, then I will respect that person more than the people in cancel culture. And here's the thing, cancel culture makes things worse. Guess like the woman said, which I'm having a brain for her name for some reason now. Silverman said in the video, cancel culture just wants to keep the people who they are canceling in that moment of time that they discovered that they did the wrong. Like, do we want people to change for the better, to progress? Or just stay in that center of life where we saw them wrong? People change. I do believe that everybody has the capability of changing for the better. And most of it is if we want to. Now, there are some cases that, yeah, we want to, but cancel culture keeps on bullying us, saying, what you did was wrong! Cancel! Leaving us no room to change for the better. And at some point, some people might just say, fuck chasing for the better. And cancel culture might cause that person to lash out and essentially become a monster. That's what they're going to do, is essentially become a monster. Partially because of cancel culture keeps on bullying them for the whatever mistake that they did, whether it's recently, a year ago, 2 years ago, etc. If cancel culture viewed both sides, all the sides, and at least allowed people to change, have a redemption arc before canceling them, then I would literally have no problem canceling, cancel culture. I wouldn't. Because at least if they heard all the sides at the very least, and potentially, and from there determine whether or not that person's, to see if that person's, will accept responsibility, feel bad for the work they did, and want to become better, and allow them to have a redemption arc, I wouldn't have any issue with cancel culture. I honestly wouldn't. But cancel culture doesn't do that, and that's why I find it stupid. And that's why, ever since I discovered what it was, I've been dead against it. Whenever I hear someone getting canceled, I immediately say to myself, okay, I want to hear the person who's getting canceled side. I want to hear the side of the person who's getting canceled. Because maybe they're maybe they're innocent. Because sometimes, like I said, some people like to accuse people of stuff they did not do. But maybe, they did something bad. They made a poor decision, but they want to grow. And stuff like that. And sometimes people just doesn't care, and if that person doesn't care and keeps on doing it, not caring the damage that they've done, then yeah, they deserve to get canceled. But if they do care, if they want to become better, if they regret hurting people or whatever, I don't think they get canceled. And that's why I am a strong believer in, before acting, that we should get all the sides in the story. Yeah, see why people are trying to cancel someone, but see where that person was getting canceled status at. Guess we never know whether or not that person may have regret and wanting to become a better person. Because it could take one person that gives them the strength that they need to change for the better. Or person or a group of people to make them a complete another asshole. And yes, I'm referring to cancel culture. But yeah, I just think cancel culture is stupid. And this might sound somewhat contradictory to what I've been saying the past 30 minutes, but I do believe that the only thing that should be canceled is cancel culture itself. Because they don't even give, because they're unfair and bullies, and they're a toxic community. And I promise you, whoever's in cancel culture, they might be your friends now. But the moment you do something out of line, regardless if you feel bad for it or not, regardless if you're trying to become a better person or not, regardless if you care or not, your so-called friends in cancel culture will come after you next. And it will be karmas in that instance. So maybe besides canceling, besides going straight to cancel that person, maybe, I don't know, try to find out why that person did what they did, potentially first, and see if they have any remorse and want to become a better person before canceling that person. Because maybe that person doesn't even deserve to get canceled. But you don't know that if you don't try to hear their side. But that's my take on cancel culture. And I am in total agreement with Sarah Silverman's point. Total agreement. But with that said, I'm going to end this video. I actually been talking way longer than I thought, but I just needed to get this out of my chest. And truthfully, before I end this video, I never heard of this Sarah Silverman before, but now I'm a big fan of hers. Because all the points that she's made about cancel culture in the clip that I saw, I am in total agreement with. I'm in total agreement with. And yeah, like I said, not everybody deserves to get canceled. Not everyone. Sometimes it just takes that one person to hear that person out and to believe in that person and to be there for that person and to encourage that person to change for the better, to make that person become a better human being in general. And maybe that person could be you. So before you cancel someone, think about that. Maybe you're that one person that will change that person's life that's in the process of getting, cancel culture is going after. Maybe you might be the cause of them to want to be better, a better human being. But let me know what you guys think about cancel culture, what Sarah Silverman said, and what I said too in this video. Love y'all. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.